have an interview that I did yesterday for the Monday night nightly news with Dr. Randy Scott. He's a lifelong D.C. resident. He was at Harvard when Obama was. He's heard him speak. He's observed him. He didn't go to the same college there. Obama was in law school. But he had some very interesting comments to talk about how Obama is going to become a race leader. And, of course, Obama has been going on NPR and other places saying that he plans to coach and identify young talent. Understand, this is what they've been doing all along. And he's going to stop bombing other countries, and he's going to start establishing the youth and pulling up the next generation of leadership, following in the footprints of Bill Ayers, who did the same thing with the SDS when they started the whole white skin privilege movement. Bill Ayers stopped bombing buildings, and he started getting involved in education. And we've seen this all along from Obama, how he wants to set up youth corps and so forth. And he said this to NPR. He said, there's a lot of things that I'm going to continue to talk about, things that I'm passionate about, like climate change and criminal justice reform, which is code word there for Black Lives Matter. He says, all these things are something I think I can do well, and I think Michelle can do well. So he's laying the foundation for Michelle running for president in a few years as well, I believe. So I think that's why they're staying there. I think they're pushing on this. We've seen criticism for Donald Trump appointing people that he says are going to rein in out-of-control bureaucracies like the EPA. And then also, before they put in Rick Perry, they said to the Department of Energy, we want to get a list of people who have been to climate change conferences or written papers, and they said, this is McCarthyism. Well, you know what? Obama fired a top scientist who disagreed with him on climate change. Yeah, that's the double standard. And as Obama was telling Time and NPR this week, he said he wants to coach up-and-coming talent. But we know really what they're going to do when he's talking about this. We've seen this with Bill Ayers and the other globalists. When Bill Ayers stopped bombing buildings and he got involved in educational reform, the SDS had been selling white skin privilege. They'd been fomenting a race war, this white skin privilege that we now see everywhere as white privilege. And he's been very successful in that because he stopped bombing and he started propagandizing the youth. And that seems to be the focus of Barack Obama now. They're going to stop bombing other countries, and now they're going to start propagandizing our youth, as well as getting involved in massive lawsuits and unrest.
If anyone takes 4 or 5 minutes to start studying Obama, they're going to find there's no there. Why isn't he going back to Chicago? I'll share with you why real fast.
Well, he says he's staying in Washington because he wants Sasha to finish her last 2 years. So he's going to spend, according to Zillow, $22,000 a month renting this mansion in one of the most expensive neighborhoods in Washington. He's not going back to the hood to help people.
He got real rich. He's not going to leave the White House with a few millions like the Clintons. I've heard that he's got tens of millions of dollars for all the deals that he's made, all the banks that have been bailed out, while Wall Street got bailed out and Main Street got left behind. He was counting on dividing this country and getting the coastal elites to vote for him, and they could ignore the flyover communities in America. Mm-hmm. I'll just give you an example. While he didn't, I was completely unhappy with what he did with Flint. I would be just a bigot to not mention when the coal dust was in the water for whites in West Virginia. Not a frigging thing was said about that.
That's right.
How in God's name is that not racist when you have power to deliver safe, clean water, no matter what color? Or on the Indian reservations, this man doesn't care about people. Now, I always let people know I attended Harvard the same 3 years as Obama. I was not in the School of Law, I was in the School of Religion. And my introduction to Obama was walking into an all-white meeting where he was the speaker to the Federalist Society. And what he was saying was how much he hated Black people and how he knew how to bamboozle and manipulate and trick them and take advantage of them, and they were too stupid to see it. This happened in 1988. Wow. It was in the Harkness Commons, and I saw Obama. Our eyes met for a minute, and I thought about whether I would bust up this meeting, but I was the only Black person. If the folks are bigots, they don't like me. And, of course, he doesn't like half of himself. I just decided to leave the building and find someone who knew who this dangerous mulatto was. And I saw some guys and said, hey, who's the mulatto in there? He can lie better than 10 Richard Nixons blindfolded.
Yeah.
He's going to be president, and he's going to stab black people in the backs and walk over us to get to where he's going. And that's where I heard the name Obama, not Obama. And if you live in Washington or in certain African-American communities, Bama is a low-class, no-good, despicable person that you cannot trust. In fact, if you call a person a Bama here, you could get yourself killed.
Wow.
So that was my interest. I says, oh my God, Obama, what a terrible name. I said, he's going to be president.
He's had so many different names, Dr. Short. I'm sorry, we're out of time, but we are going to be following this. And if people think that this tumult that we've had leading up to the Electoral College is something, wait until Obama stays in Washington. He's going to be leading a shadow government there. Thank you so much for joining us, Dr. Randy Short.
In case you haven't heard, InfoWars has become the most influential media outlet in America. We're making freedom go viral. And now we are proud to announce a new weapon in the epic battle against the globalists. InfoWars Prime, where you can watch live high-definition feeds of The Alex Jones Show, plus exclusive insider videos from the InfoWars crew and behind-the-scenes action. Go to Infowars.com/app and download today. InfoWars Prime is available right now for your iPhone or Android. You will have access to exclusive videos that you can't see anywhere else. And that means live coverage of events and breaking news on location as it happens. You can also take advantage of amazing deals from the InfoWars store that are only available for InfoWars Prime subscribers. That's InfoWars Prime at Infowars.com/app. And if you can hear my voice, you are the resistance.